here at Rise in Hong Kong, and I'm here with Ivan from Currency.com. My name is Joeri van Gielen, founder and CEO of Iblock Group. So very excited to have you here, Ivan.
Great to be here.
Fantastic. I hope you're enjoying Rise.
Yes. Yeah,
so far, so good.
Really successful conference.
Fantastic. All right. So Currency.com, I actually walked by your stand as I was interested in everything that you had written there. Seems you're building quite an innovative platform. Can you share a little bit more about what Currency.com does and what you're offering to your clients?
Sure. So my name's Gowan, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Currency.com. And we are a tokenized securities exchange that is regulated in Belarus. And we're allowing people to trade and invest in traditional cryptocurrencies and use those cryptocurrencies as collateral to buy into tokenized forms of traditional markets.
Right.
And through this, we're broadening the asset classes and giving people more diversified opportunities to invest and trade. And one of our key areas of focus is on our customer and building great experiences for our customer.
Yeah.
And we feel there's been a bit of a gap in some of the experiences that people have available to them on mobile, and we've built some really nice mobile apps for people to be able to invest and follow the markets. And
right.
Trade.
Okay, is that then also the differentiating factor that differentiates you from the competition, or is there even more to it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're providing quite a broad stall for different audiences, and one of the areas that's really interesting for some people is as a crypto holder, where else can I invest? And right now, if you're a crypto holder and you're on an exchange that doesn't have access to fiat and traditional currency, then you're somewhat isolated in the world of altcoins and some of the big cryptocurrencies. And we want to remove that isolation, and we want to allow people with cryptocurrencies to really easily go between the crypto world, the fiat world, and other investment opportunities. And a recent example was, the more technical audience will be very familiar with Slack.
Yeah.
Slack recently went through an IPO, and we had the Slack IPO share listed on our platform on its first day of trade.
Yeah.
And this gives people another interesting opportunity, right? And so, you compare the opportunity and the public information available around Slack versus another altcoin.
Yeah.
These are very different types of investment. And so, we can allow people who are holding crypto to take positions in other markets without putting a lot of time and effort into coming off one exchange, moving through the banking system, moving into a brokerage account, and then going all the way back.
So one-stop shop.
One-stop shop. Bring all that together, make it easy.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about. And so, we support a limited range of cryptos. It's about the big cryptos, the ones that have high volume,
liquidity,
high visibility, high liquidity. And we're a regulated exchange, and I think, for some people that's a bad thing, for others that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We're coming into this market from the position of having an expectation of needing to know our customers, and doing proper due diligence on PEP and sanctions checks and understanding where people's funds have come from, and complying with AML regulations.
Yeah.
So it's quite different to some of the early exchanges that have been around 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
And I think that's a sign of a maturing market and things evolving as regulators understand more.
Yeah.
Newer exchanges are going down a route of being regulated from the start. And this is kind of part of, I think, the next sort of evolution of where this is headed.
Yeah, also if you look at the FATF and what they're recommending now to countries, so you're ready for the future as a regulated exchange.
Exactly, and we're already FATF compliant.
Okay.
We're using some partner tools from people like CoinFirm and ScoreChain, and there's lots of others in that space. Who give you really good visibility of the history of transactions on wallets. And it's then down to us to make a risk-based assessment on, whether we think this is coins and transactions that are high risk, medium risk, or low risk.
I see, yeah. So you're hinting upon a few partners already. Is there any other partners that are worth mentioning that you cooperate with?
Yeah, so our platform has been built entirely by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had a very big upfront investment period of building out the platform, the exchange, the liquidity, the hedging. You know, it's a complicated system to build from scratch.
Yeah.
And we're now direct to retail. We launched this year.
Yeah.
And we're finding that there are a lot of people that want to engage with us, a lot of people that want to form partnerships. You know, our initial launch has been about onboarding individuals. We're now going through the process of onboarding quite a lot of legal entities and corporations.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some interesting partnership models, and so that's a fast evolving part of our business.
Fantastic. Okay, and that's partners across the globe?
So we're very open to discussions. You know, and some of those are quite straightforward, where you know there are people who have wallets that allow people to store and track their assets, but no way to buy. So you know, some of those are interesting, and they're interested in what we're offering. Some of our partners that we're looking at are you know, fairly advanced trading platforms who can then allow their customers access to our liquidity and our assets. And we can provide that to our customers as another platform they can trade through and
Clear.
study and analyze the markets.
Exciting, yeah, all right. And then as for the roadmap, like many exchanges that have milestones and new projects coming up, I'm well aware that you might not be able to share all of that because it's a staged process, but can you share a little bit of a snippet on where you're going and what your next roadmap milestones are?
Sure. So I think it's really useful to look back a little bit. We launched in closed beta on the 15th of January. We launched our mobile apps and wide open to the public in March. We were the world's first regulated exchange to put government bonds on the blockchain. That came in April. We've recently launched Litecoin, as some of our partners are able to give us that visibility of source of coin and traverse the blockchain. And we're working very hard on adding more cryptocurrencies to the platform as kind of, in our view, native currencies that can be used as collateral to buy other assets. And when we launched initially, we had 150 of the biggest assets for people to invest in. We've now taken that to 1,000. In the future, we see that going to something nearer to 10,000. Those are our really big features. I think we've got lots of feedback from our community. We have a really active Telegram community. They have lots of demands of us and wishes and desires.
Which you're listening to.
Absolutely, and engaging with and responding to. And there are lots of features that are in our feature roadmap. We're really excited about the trading on charts features that are coming soon. So that'll be really exciting. We've also seen a lot of demand for Ripple. So very active working on integrating with the Ripple blockchain. And many more things which we can't divulge at this stage, but very exciting.
Fantastic, okay. And then as part of the standard format that we uphold within Iblock TV, I'd like to ask you, without giving financial advice as such, if you'd be a crypto investor right now, like ICO craze being over, looking at the new market fundamentals and dynamics, what would you recommend that crypto investor at this current day and age?
So I'll put the disclaimer in there. This is not investment advice. This is like my read on what's going on in the market. I think there's a few interesting things this year, and we'll move into next year as the bigger trends. And I'm much more interested in the bigger trends than the short-term trends. And I think what we're seeing is quite a lot of institutional interest. I think we're seeing traditional exchanges get very interested in digital assets and investing in building out digital asset capabilities within their exchanges. And so I think the big macro trend there is there's going to be a huge amount more money able to invest in a range of existing cryptos and tokenizing more assets and putting them on the blockchain. obviously the announcement from Facebook about Calibra, the collaboration with a range of really big partners, has put crypto right back into mainstream media.
Yeah.
And I think that we've seen what that's happened in the past around that with Bitcoin futures contracts being listed on the CME.
Yeah.
And when mainstream financial media and general media gets hold of these stories, there's a lot of excitement around it. That can lead to bubbles being created. You saw what happened in January 2018. I think we've seen a significant rise over the last 3 months in Bitcoin. I don't think we've seen the same response in the altcoins, and they're sort of trailing behind. I think we're at a period now where we're going through some consolidation, with breakouts and pullbacks. And again, I'm not an expert in short-term investment. I'm a long-term believer. Do I think now is a safe time to buy? I wouldn't say it's undervalued. I wouldn't say that now's the safest time to buy with the run-up that we've seen over the last 3 months. When it was sitting at $3,500, you didn't have too much further to go down. And a lot of potential upside. So I think right now is a little bit risky. I think if there is a significant pullback, that might be a buying opportunity. But again, I'm not a short-term speculator, so I wouldn't treat my view as an expert opinion on what to do in the short term. But I think it's clear to see that the bigger trends are generally more money, more regulation, more big traditional money, more big traditional players getting involved. And then I think, with the tokenization of securities, we're at this big inflection point. This is potentially very disruptive. And if you look at like traditional capital markets, you've got two main ways of kind of mass market investing in a company. One is through bonds and the other is through equity. And I think tokenized securities presents a third option that actually could result in huge amounts of different types of structure of investment, incentives between the company and the consumer, or the company and the investor. And it feels similar to something as innovative as Apple launching the App Store.
Right.
None of us knew what sort of capabilities were going to be on our phone with us all day, every day. And it just redefined what we can do on the move at any time of day. And I think we're at that baseline point of, okay, most governments are trying to figure out how to regulate tokenized securities. And then there's going to be lots of innovation, which we can't predict right now, but it's going to be really, really interesting times in the future.
Fantastic. Okay, and then maybe you could look into the camera, our audience. If you'd be a startup founder of a blockchain company, what is it based on your experience that you'd like to share them as advice?
So I think the key things really are identify a real world problem that you want to solve. And technology is great as an enabler to solve problems. And one of the big benefits of blockchain technology is its decentralized nature. That makes it very useful for disruptive platforms to create platform businesses where there isn't so much of an overseeing, governing central authority around that. So I think there are lots of disruptive business models that can make use of that technology. Unfortunately, we see a lot of companies trying to use technology where it's not using the inherent power of the technology to bring value and disruptive business models to light. So I think that's a primary concern. I think then there is a big difference between an idea and the ability to deliver on that idea. And blockchain technology is not that straightforward. And so, looking at where can you find the best people to be a core part of your team is a really, really important factor, and you need to make sure that you can deliver on your ideas. And execution is far harder than having ideas. So focus on those two things, and you'll be on to a great start.
Fantastic. thank you so much for sharing the time with us, Ivan.
pleasure.
And this is the last day at Rise. I wish you all the best before you fly out back home again.
Yes.
So enjoy Rise, and looking forward to stay in touch. Thank you so
very
much.
much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.